Guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Back of the Shelf, a show that considers, ponders, and deliberates board games that we consider to be underrated, undervalued, and perhaps a little bit underloved. My name is Gerry, hello, and I'm joined by my fellow hosts, Ben. Say ahoy, Ben.
Ahoy, Joel.
Ahoy, Ben. And Dave, say, what's up, Dave?
I'd really rather not. Hello.
Oh, do you remember that one? Do you remember that one? The old
Yes.
Budweiser, was up, frogs? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. Oh, well, exceptional. Well, listeners, viewers, welcome to season 2 of the show, or rather, the prologue to season 2. Instead of diving straight into a new series of the show, we deemed it germane and apropos to take a little time and set the act by discussing what you, our esteemed and beautiful fans, can expect from this season of Back of the Shelf. But before we get to the grit, it is of the utmost importance that we give Ben a chance to limber up his vocal flaps, as it's been a while since we recorded anything. And what better way to do that than with a game of Can You Guess the Board Game from the Board Game tagline? So the rules are simple, as they are brilliant. I shall read a tagline from which our contestants will need to be the first to correctly identify the board game. 1 victory point for a correct guess, 8 potential points to win. Glory to the victor, ridicule and scorn to the loser. As always, I encourage our listeners and viewers, hello, to partake. No prizes, just a mediocre sense of achievement or amusement. So let's meet this week's contestants. Here we go. When he's not busy training and oiling himself in preparation for the Kirk Pinnar oil wrestling tournament, you can find contestant number 1 lecturing anyone who will listen about the 1992 Blood Bowl League, where his Dark Elf supposedly did really, really well. It's Ben. Hello, Ben. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Ben, quick fire question. What's the perfect length for a board game evening?
Evening.
Yep.
Until I've just had enough.
Yeah. That's a good answer, actually. Yeah. And you just like boards away, components away.
Well, yeah, I just get up and start tidying things and just wander around.
Start leaving, start doing the washing out. Yeah, fair one. I like that. Yeah, it's a good answer, actually. I'll give you that one. Let's go on to contestant number 2. When contestant number 2 isn't busy perfecting his gooseberry chutney, which I've been informed is the perfect accompaniment to a game of Top Trump's Best Lakes edition, you can find him perfecting his lubricating skills in preparation for the Kirk Pinnar oil wrestling tournament. It's Dave. Dave, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just getting to grips with this live stream thing.
Live stream. Yeah, speaking of which, I've noticed that I might as well ask, but not really made the effort considering we're on camera. Why is that?
I've just been out all day with some good friends having a barbecue, and yeah, just feel a bit worn out. And
5 cans of Stella does for you.
Yeah, and I set up this green screen behind me for the live stream. It doesn't really work, so that was set up about 2 minutes before we came on, and here we are.
Excellent. That's a really phenomenal start. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Well, in that case, let's play Can You Guess the Board Game from the Board Game tagline? Oh. Are you not supposed to do some kind of title thing there, Dave?
Yeah, we've got a thing there. Get ready, everybody.
Okay.
Can you guess the board game from the BGG tagline?
Outstanding.
Made that myself.
Excellent work, Dave. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Well, here we go. Number 1. Obviously, just first to blurt out an answer gets the point, if they're correct, obviously. Okay, number 1. Here we go. Lead your Roman dynasty and build the greatest trading empire in the Mediterranean.
Mare Nostrum.
No, obviously not.
No, these are
Dave.
games that people have heard of, right?
The clue is they're all board games.
Can you read it again, please? Sorry.
I can. I mean, this could be any game ever, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Lead your Roman dynasty and build the greatest trading empire in the Mediterranean.
Okay. Do I know this game? Have I played it?
Yes, you know this game.
Oh, Concordia.
Of course, it's Concordia.
Hey, okay.
One belated point to Dave. Obviously, viewers at home, make sure you're partaking in this game. Let us know in the chat if you get them right or wrong. If you get all of them right, I'll assume you're lying. But nevertheless, let's go on to question 2. Number 2. Here we go. Ship goods, construct buildings, and choose roles that benefit you more than others. Again, could be any board game ever.
No, I know the board. Oh.
Keyflower.
No, wrong. Ben.
The famous one. I can't remember the name now.
It is the famous one. Famous, kind of controversial one.
No, I give up.
Oh, Puerto Rico.
Ben. Oh yeah, of course it is.
Ben,
we're getting word that you're very quiet.
I am an actually quiet person.
That's a lie.
That's an absolute lie. What are you talking about? Amber here is just asking if your mic is plugged in.
It is plugged in.
Okay, excellent.
I'll unplug it and plug it back in.
Good live show. Still going well.
Let's move on. Number 3.
Yes.
Influence, intrigue, and combat in the universe of Dune.
Dune Imperium.
Is correct, Ben. No, wait, Dave. Sorry, I thought you sounded like Ben there.
Whoa.
You okay?
Apparently, Dav McTav, who's been a guest on the show, knew the answer to the previous question.
No, he didn't. Liar. Okay, question 4. Question 4.
Yeah.
Question 4 of 8.
What's the score? So, what's the score?
I don't know. Dave's winning. He's thrashing you, Ben. You need to pick it up. I don't think you've answered anything, Ben. What's going on?
I haven't know. I'm struggling with microphone, Gerald.
Oh,
Oh, you're much better now. That's much clearer.
Did you plug in your mic now? Okay.
Yeah. Who knows?
Okay.
Plus various things in.
Okay, here we go. Number 4. We'll go 4. Okay.
Yep.
Artfully embellish the walls of your palace by drafting the most beautiful tiles.
Mad King Ludwig. Castles and Mad King Ludwig.
No.
Bonnie.
No. What's going on with you?
Azul.
Correct. Of course it's Azul.
Oh,
Have you not played Azul, Ben?
I have.
Of course you have. Who hasn't? This is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. Oh, God, this is so bad.
God. Okay,
Standard.
let's just move on. Let's try and get past this. I think Dave's won already, but whatever. I wrote the questions out, so we might as well
Just
get to it.
for honor now.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's played this one, but I'm very interested in this game, nevertheless. Question 6. We'll go 6. Be a part of the first Martian colony, striving to be the best contributor.
First Martians.
No, Ben. Wrong. Of
Of
course, it's not First Martians. Dave.
Red Planet?
No.
Alien Frontiers.
On Mars. On Mars.
Oh.
Oh.
Not played it. Don't know it.
It's all on Mars games.
There are quite a few Mars games.
Yeah, there's too many Mars
I
games,
can think
actually.
of. Okay. We've nearly done. Whatever this question is.
Okay.
7.
Okay, thank you. Amass a fortune and stake your reputation by operating a lucrative art gallery.
Modern art.
No.
Oh, Okay, I know what it is now then.
Well, let's give Dave a chance.
The
Bursting
Gallerist?
out whatever comes to mind. It's correct. Thank you, David. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure.
No
having you on
problem.
today's show.
Yep.
Excellent work. Excellent work. Is this the last question? Maybe.
Let's hope
I do
so.
have 2 more. I do have 2 more, actually. I'll just do 2 more. Here we go.
I've already
With an
typed
eye-
a little banner that's going to come up saying Dave wins. I think I had it 3 typed
Okay.
before we even started the show.
Here we go.
Sorry, carry on.
With an ice age approaching, which animals will best propagate, migrate, and adapt?
Dominant
Evolution.
species.
What was that, sorry, Ben?
Dominant species.
Is correct. Thank you, Ben.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice one.
Correct.
Thank God.
Okay.
Well done.
Maybe one more for honor. One more for
Mm,
honor. Let's see if Ben can get 2. Okay, here we go. Rescue as many island cats as you can. before
Isle of
Lord-
Cats.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
that's correct. What
Is that what the
was
game's
that?
about?
Yeah, you rescue island cats
Rescuing cats.
before
Yeah.
Lord Vesh comes to destroy their home.
You got to put them on a ship or something.
I've never played it. Is it any?
No,
Have you
neither
played
have
it, Dave? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I just know what it's about. Because
All I'm interested in is the theme. Don't want to play it.
well, you just think, if we host a board game podcast, you better know some board games, right?
I mean, you would think, wouldn't you, Dave?
Yeah, you'd assume.
You'd assume as
Let me just put this up.
Oh,
Thank you for
wow.
that.
You have done that. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Is that the end of the game?
Yes. Roll
Good.
credits.
Let me just do this again. If anyone that didn't see it, if they missed it, I spent many an hour putting this together.
Days.
Can you get the full game of the tagline?
Did that all myself.
It's really good. It's very
It doesn't show.
professional.
It doesn't, yeah.
Thank you.
That looks
Well-
like a team effort.
I would say thanks for playing this week's game, but it felt like you didn't really play, Ben.
I'm sorry.
What was that about?
I'm flustered, Jared. The mic problems. It's all over the place.
Okay.
It's because he
well,
knows we're being watched. There's a little number that says how many people are watching us.
how
No,
many
don't even
people
tell me
is
that. I can't see.
You can't see it? Oh, okay. Well, I can.
Well,
These are double figures.
obviously, again, I would remind our viewers, use the
Mm.
chat function. Let us know how well you did.
Yeah, can we maybe shout out some people in the chat?
Sure.
I don't know if you guys can see this because
I can't.
you can't see the comments coming up. I'm putting comments. Okay, so we got a message here from Thomas Hine.
Yep.
Which says whoop whoop.
Classic Tom.
Thanks, Tom. We got one from Hey that says, "Hey guys."
Nice. Classic Hey.
We got one from Dustin here. It says, "Howdy from Canada."
Nice. Hello, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
That's Amber's brother. So thanks, Dustin.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dustin.
So like it takes away. Sorry, Dustin. Thank you very much.
Any relation
you,
with
Dustin.
Amber just takes it away.
We've got one here from Pale Blue
His,
Dot.
his
Oh,
his
nice.
wife. His,
I know those
his
guys.
wife is vicious at board games.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she is hardcore.
I hope she's not watching. If
She destroys.
thanks
people.
for watching. Yeah, go on.
She's
from
not
Pale-
allowed to play. She's not allowed to play board games with the parents anymore. They won't play with her because she just takes no prisoners.
I like that.
Oh,
Family
really?
means nothing. Destroy your
Hi, Bester.
We haven't got a message from her yet, but I'm waiting now. We've
Okay.
got one from Pale Blue Dot that says, "I love you, Gerald." Little kiss.
I love you too.
We've got one from Amber. Oh, I read that one. We got one from Amber that says, "We all love Jerry."
I love you
Which,
guys.
Rob's here. who
Hello,
you met,
Rob.
I believe.
Yes.
And he said, he guessed museum. I think that was for the question about the art gallery one, which I haven't played. I've
Good.
heard that's good.
Question about the cats.
Yeah, we've also got another one from Rob. It says, "Waiting for Ben to purchase Flamme Rouge." You guys played Flamme Rouge at UKGE,
Oh, yeah.
right?
We got to
Did
play
you like
Flamme
it?
Rouge with Rob.
Yeah, I did like it.
I
That
like
was a
Flamme
good
Rouge.
game.
That's a great game.
Yeah.
Hayes put a picture of a cat. Assume that's for Isla Cats. Or, I mean, Haley. I know Haley, and she does love cats. Yeah. So thanks for being here, guys and girls. Thanks.
Thanks, Dave.
You're
really
welcome.
Really well done. Thank you. Thank you. For that. Well, I guess let's move onto the grit. So I thought it would be an opportunity in this prologue show, this intermission show, before we start season 2 proper, to discuss the new format, discuss what we've been up to and all that jazz. In fact, let's go back to you, Dave.
Sure.
Don't suppose you could fill us in and our viewers and listeners at home? What's kind of the new format of the show with regards to obviously the streaming and all that jazz?
Just do, haven't we? Thought we'd just do YouTube. That's it. Thought we'd come on and talk at the cameras about games.
Are we not still doing a podcast as well?
Yeah, I guess we're here for this, right? we're here to discuss it now. Our idea then is to do a live stream like we're doing, as well as the podcast, which I say as well as, I think the idea really is what we're going for is to do this as the podcast, and we'll release it as a podcast for people that can't catch it on here.
Okay.
And if you can't catch us live, that's fine. You can watch us on our channel later on, so you can fast forward for all this and stuff. And yeah, I think we're just going to carry on talking about games. I know we've discussed that we have talked about a lot of games that we think are underrated, and we're a little bit concerned that maybe we're reaching our limit on certain types of games that we've played that, might not be quite underrated anymore.
Well, that's a very good talking point. Let's talk about that for a second, Dave, because obviously the premise of the show, this kind of unloved, underrated, underappreciated games, what does that actually mean? Because I know when we've had guests on the show and ourselves, when we've discussed games, we've kind of referred to BGG rankings, but obviously everyone knows that's kind of askew. But so how do we determine whether a game is underrated in our humble opinions?
That is a good question. And
Thank you.
Yeah, let me pop this up whilst we're discussing it, so people know what we're discussing. What are underrated games? I think for us then, and I think we all agree on this, that we've generally picked games that we think are underrated, whether they are. We don't go by rankings so much. We've picked quite a lot of games that are in the 400 or 500s, I guess. We're not picking games that are in the 15,000 mark. We're probably picking games generally that are in the top 1,000, I'd say. I think you guys are the same. I think that we're really going for, or what we have done in the past is go for games that we don't hear much about in our own circles, right? I can say that for me, particularly like a game that I would mention with you guys or mention with friends that we just haven't really seen mentioned elsewhere, haven't seen discussed much. Okay, and that's what I'm going for sure. Yeah, and I think we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's kind of finding that line between, because if I start naming a game that I've played recently, like I say, I played in the Hall of the Mountain King. I don't hear many people talking about that. That would be that would just be disingenuous, wouldn't it? So I think we're just going for games that we personally don't think we hear about much and we don't see mentioned much in our own circles or perhaps online or whatever.
Okay, nice. Ben, anything you wish to add to that to clarify definitions?
No. Well, there are some that I consider classic that are still really high in the rankings, but you don't hear much about.
Sure.
I'll talk about those happily because those are classics for a reason.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't hear much about some of those, so yeah, I'll be chatting about some of those.
All right, nice. Well, Ben, let's stick with you then. What can everyone expect from season 2 of Back of the Shelf?
Okay, I've written it down to remember. Oh. Okay, so we're going to do a sort of rotation.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a rotation of standard episodes that we normally do, the three games and then a shelf-spaced one. We also thought that we would pick a game that we have all played, hopefully, and do a much deeper dive into that game to discuss why we like it or possibly why we don't like it. So positive, negative, but these will, because there are some people that might look at a game, we talk about it for 10 seconds and then we sort of move on. And there are some that might want a more in-depth description of what we're talking about.
Sure.
And then more rotation, we will have more guests, more people coming to visit and say hi. And try and do a bit more of that, because I think I speak for all of us when I say those are some of the most enjoyable episodes.
They are. It's the only enjoyment I get out of this whole, whatever this is.
I know I knew that from you, but I think I'm speaking for me and David.
Fair enough. Sure thing. So yeah.
Yeah, we like having people on.
Yeah,
sure.
Nice. Well, yeah, thanks for that, Ben. Well, hey, that clarifies everything to do with the show. So since it's been a while since we've
it has been a while. I was, I don't know why we were doing it. Oh, because Amber hadn't heard it. We were listening to episode 25 on the drive down. Yeah. And I said right at the end, we're going for a little break.
Yes.
Don't worry, we're not disappearing. And David said, don't worry, it won't be for 6 weeks or anything. It has been 6 weeks. Well done, David.
Welcome.
Well, since it has been 6 weeks since we've gotten together. I thought it'd be a nice opportunity to have a little chinwag now, an informal catch-up of all things board gamey. Everything that we've been undertaking over the summer more than anything. So, gentlemen, I pose the question to you two. What have been your, if any, board gaming highlights from the past few months? Obviously, viewers at home, do get involved in the chat. Let us know your board gaming highlights from the past couple of months. Dave, back to you. Highlights, go.
Oh, a few actually. I've played some good games recently. It was my birthday not long ago, so I received some new games as gifts, which was lovely.
Nice.
Let me talk about one I played recently, which took me by surprise a bit. Was Mariposas, which was nice. Designer of Wingspan, which I can see sitting behind you there. That was lovely game. It's quite light. You're moving butterflies. Let me just go over what you're doing. You're basically taking butterflies and they're traveling from South America up to North America and breeding and producing new butterflies, and then you get points for things you collect and stuff. But then at the end of the game, you get extra bonus points if you get your higher level butterflies, because you're constantly leveling up, back down to the start position. And for however many butterflies you got at the start position, you get more points. And it's a really nice, clever little game. It's quite light. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. That was nice. But aside from that,
Why did that take you by surprise? Why do you think you weren't going?
Because I was expecting it to be really boring, to be honest, and it wasn't. So, don't get me wrong. I love Wingspan. I think Wingspan's fantastic, and I think Elizabeth Hargrave is a great designer.
So you liked the previous game, and you think she's a great designer, but you thought it was going to be a boring game.
Yeah, it didn't. It looked like it would be a bit boring, to be honest. I just thought, well, it's all you're doing, because all you're doing is moving a butterfly token, collecting whatever it lands on, moving it again, collecting whatever it lands on, and then getting points for trading in certain things and upgrading your butterflies and stuff. I thought, well, that's probably going to be so light. I mean, Wingspan's got a lot going on, and Mariposas doesn't, and I kind of knew that going into it. But I played it, and it actually turned out to be a lot more fun than you'd think, just doing those actions. Kind of like, we've mentioned a game, Saikatsu, which has got a similar kind of feel. It's very, very simple, very light, but it's just nice to play. I liked it. But interrogation aside, I'd like to go on to the other game. I played a game on my birthday, which was phenomenal. And it's a game I've wanted to play for a long time and had always held off of because I thought it would be hours and hours and hours. And it's not. It was about 90 minutes. Really, really fun. Probably the funniest game I've ever played. And that is Western Legends.
Hilarious.
Which is just fantastic. And you wouldn't think it's gonna be funny. It's like you're playing, it's like a sandbox game, which means you can do whatever you want, free roaming. Within the constraints of the game, you're pretty free to do anything. You can you can get cattle, or you can rustle cattle and be a bad guy, or you can simply herd cattle from one area to another and get paid. You can go to gold mines and pan for gold. You can go to the bank and trade in gold nuggets for coins, or you can go to the casino. You can go to the saloon and gamble. But where the funniest comes from is everyone around the table really needs to, when you play this game, you've got to do the accents, you've got to do the voices, and you've got to be in character the whole time. And it's just hilarious because of that. And really, really clever, simple but extremely versatile game, and I really loved that. And I was like, absolutely superb, wonderful.
It would feel like
game.
a missed opportunity, Dave, if you didn't give us a little demo of your accent right now.
I mean, I played Bass Reeves, didn't I?
You did.
And you were, so I was
Billy
like
the
a
kid.
proper,
Billy the kid.
Yeah, you were Billy the Kid. So I was like walking around like, Billy the Kid, you better come out here right now. Like that. I mean, sorry for the.
Where's the game set?
Believe it or not, the North American territories.
Oh, not Yorkshire.
No, not Yorkshire. No. Bass Reeves is a North American sheriff.
Oh,
I'm sure. Yeah, it must have been the mic. The microphone must have distorted it, because that was from where I sat. It sounded perfect. And the other one, well, I'm just looking because it's here. Yeah, another game I played the other night in the Hall of the Mountain King. Which really is nothing like I was expecting. I think I played it with Gerry and his wife, and I think we all agreed at the end we were expecting a much lighter laying down tiles, collecting points thing, but it's just a puzzle. It's like an abstract puzzle game almost, with a great theme on top, which makes it feel, you feel connected to the theme. But it does feel underneath just like a really sort of strange, a unique puzzle, where you're collecting gems and commodities to build more tunnels, dig out the tunnels, get statues, and get points for having statues. Yeah, really great, really, really good game. But all of that, I say that, I mean, Western Legends has been probably my absolute joy. But one other game that really took me by surprise, and maybe the biggest surprise of this year, because I didn't know anything about it, and I was really, really, I got it for Gerry's wife for her birthday, and is a game from Stonemaier Games. And we love Stonemaier Games. We talked to Jamie before, and this is a game I'd not tried from them, and it's Euphoria. And I played Euphoria with Gerry and his wife, and I think that's probably the best Stonemaier game that I've played.
Oh, that's a
bold statement.
Yeah, that's a bold statement.
I loved
we
it.
were having a discussion, but
I loved it.
Above Viticulture, then
I do. Yeah. I love Viticulture, but I wonder if it's because it's new and I've played Viticulture a lot. But at the same time, I like Viticulture, but Viticulture belongs to a genre of games that I play a lot of, and I prefer others. Like, it's a worker placement game, but it's not my favorite worker placement game. Whereas Euphoria is a dice placement game, and I've only ever played Alien Frontiers, so I had high expectations. And then as soon as we played it, I just loved what it does with that mechanic. You're basically trying to build your way out of this. It's called Euphoria, but the idea is that it's actually really underneath. Yeah, underneath that, it's a dystopia, and you realize that. And as a worker, you're trying to build your way out of it, and you're using other workers in order to do so. But if your workers become too intelligent, which is represented by the pips on the dice, then you're likely to lose those workers, because they won't want to work for someone when they realize that actually they're not working towards keeping this euphoria going. They're actually working towards you gaining power in this dystopia, and they're sort of waking up from that. So it's got this really clever mechanism where your workers become more intelligent when you do certain tasks, but you don't really want that, because every time you get workers back, you're rolling those dice, and if your dice go above the 16, value 16, then one of your workers is going to leave because they've become too intelligent, and so you're going to have to re-recruit new workers, and you're going to lose workers constantly throughout the game. Yeah, I just really impressed me. It's quite a simple game, but there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of choices to go on. And as much as I love Viticulture and I love Scythe, and maybe it's because it's new, but it really impressed me with how basic it is, the fact that it can play up to 6, and it plays in less than an hour if you really sort of commit to it and play quickly. So yes.
Yeah. Nice. Hey.
Loved it.
Some great games over this summer, sounds like. Well, Ben, let's go on to you. Anything board game oriented worth noting from your summer?
I went to the UK Games Expo.
Who did you go with?
I went with you, Gerald.
You're welcome. Did you have a fun time?
Thank you very much. It was...
okay. I had a great time before you say anything.
I'm glad I went.
Yep.
I feel like, speaking to people afterwards, I feel I missed out on quite a bit because half of it wasn't open.
Yeah, I agree. I think you did miss out on a lot of it. Yep.
So there are definite high points. We played Wildlands, which I rather enjoyed.
That's phenomenal. Good game.
Quite enjoyed that game. Met Rob.
Yep.
That was a man, Tom, highlight. And we played Flamme Rouge. That was a great game. Really enjoyed that. It was interesting. Found 2 games I've been looking for ages. So that was great. And the highlight of the whole thing, we got taught that June Imperium.
Yes, that was quite fun, wasn't it?
That's a great game.
Even though we did have to wait quite a while for the demo, eventually playing June Imperium, I think was worth the wait.
I had a great game. Tom eventually had a great game, because I didn't realize he had never played a deck builder before.
Yeah.
And couldn't fathom what was going on. I was like, no, you get the cards, you put me in your deck, you just get it. He just was not having it, until I eventually realized, you know what? If you have never played a deck builder, this would be quite a weird concept. So
talk
to him through it, and eventually got it.
Everyone's played all games.
How was your game? How was your game, Gerald, with your friend on the end?
My game was great. As always, I love gaming with strangers. It's phenomenal fun, especially when they're extremely competitive, especially when they're extremely competitive over a demo game. It's always a laugh, isn't it? So I had a great game with Junior Imperium. Suffice to say, I smashed him. It was good fun.
You did.
Yeah,
You did.
absolutely
That made it
dominated
also
the
sweeter.
situation. We held the honor of the Bots podcast live stream. What are we now? Show. I'll go with. But yes, it was a good game of Junior Imperium. I highly recommend if you have not to go and play that one.
So, Dave, have you heard this? Have you heard this? So we're standing waiting for. There's a terrible organization. You would think in a board game that's so full of people who like statistics, there'd be some sort of organization. There was none at all. You just hover near the table, waiting for something more to disappear. We hovered near the Junior Imperium. I went up and said, "Oh, listen, how much longer do you think you're gonna be?" And so a couple of turns. They're near the end. I said, "Great." We hovered there, and then they left, and we went to sit down, and this guy approached, and I said, this guy, we're really looking for on his own, really looking forward to this game. Do you mind if I join you? And I was just about to say, nah, we can. Tom went, yeah, sure, mate. Then you come.
Oh dear.
Sat next to Gerry. Me and Tom were on one end, and Gerald and this guy were on the other thing. And he just trash talked the whole game. And I was totally unaware. Me and Tom were just quietly doing our thing, happy, chat.
Happy. You were bullying Tom about his lack of deck building knowledge.
It was only we were walking away. I said, that was great, wasn't it? It was brilliant. I was just constantly in my ear. Oh, I'm going to smash this. Wow, I had no idea. I had a great time.
That actually was one of the highlights, though. That was good fun.
That game.
Beating that guy. Whoever he was.
Yeah, Robert here has said the queues for Junior Imperium were constant throughout the expo.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they had one game. They had one demo. The guy
really, that's crazy.
He looked a little fed up. It was only Friday lunchtime.
Friday lunchtime, he had done like 14 demos by that point, and I was like, "Fair play, guy. You deserve to look a bit tired." And he's even by that point, and obviously he's talking to the mask at the same time. He was just the explanation was wanting supposed to save the game. But yeah, it was good fun. That was good fun. Anything else of note, Benjamin?
I acquired, well, depending who you speak to, a healthy amount of games, or if you speak to Amber, a unhealthy amount of games. I've been sitting in my mum's house because I get them delivered to I win things on eBay, get them delivered to my mum's house. So I've been sitting there, so I've picked those up and I've driven them across Europe.
Nice.
And now I need to find a way to store them. Because in other news, our family has a puppy. And this puppy, I was hoping against hope that the puppy wouldn't be a chewer. It's a chewer. So I now need to
of board games.
evacuate my lower shelves and put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to do. But I have too many games and not enough space.
Just put the rubbish ones on the bottom shelves.
I don't own rubbish ones, David. I own only good ones.
Okay.
That's phenomenal. Thanks for sharing your summer highlights. I would have to concur with Ben. UKG was jolly good fun. More than anything, actually, I enjoyed having some meals with you, Ben. I enjoyed breakfast. That was a great time. I enjoyed having dinner with you. That was also great.
I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not.
No,
I do something weird at breakfast? Oh, okay.
The board games were okay. But yeah, that was special. I enjoyed sharing those moments with you. I think actually Western Legends, I agree with you, Dave. That's actually been a bit of a highlight of this whole summer. I can't get how hilarious that game is. I do wonder though, is it supposed to be?
Yes, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Or is that just people's interpretations of it? Was it designed to be a hilarious game? I wonder.
I maybe not. Maybe it was designed to be super serious, but I don't know. I don't know how it could be because that game is. I think naturally, if you play a game with such a heavy theme, and especially a theme that people generally would have some idea about, you're naturally. It's like if they made it a pirate game, we'd all be doing pirate voices, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It would be very hard to find a theme where people don't connect to it instantly if it's going to be that kind of game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm unclear. What would a pirate voice be?
Well, if you put a pirate game down in front of somebody and they didn't go, "Grr, I got to find myself some booty," like you wouldn't, was that I'm confused which accents I'm doing. In fact, I think I did that voice for Western Legends, but yeah, if you I think you would, wouldn't you? You'd have to. Got a couple of comments actually.
Sure.
From Kelly. Who has asked, so what about Ben and Gerry's holidays?
I
What about-
assume to the UK Expo. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm not sure, Kelly, if that's referring to UKGE or if you've your travels around. I know, Ben, you've been traveling around.
Yeah, I haven't had a holiday. All I did was UKGE, and it was horrible spending time with Ben there. So
Oh God, yeah.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
don't know.
Amber has said that I've been looking for this game for ages. Is
Every
what
single one.
Ben says about just about every game. Yeah, yeah. And also Mandy has said, I didn't get to the expo this year as we need the money for our wedding. And I think
Oh, Mandy, prioritize. Come on.
it's perfectly understandable.
Always things up here.
Yeah,
in all honesty, with regard to the expo,
yes,
of which I believe we are going to release a podcast special,
sure,
highlighting the expo later on. So I don't know when that's going to be released, but check out social media for updates. I don't think you missed out too much. Obviously, Ben, as he mentioned previously, what regards to social distancing and all the restrictions and everything that they had to implement, a lot of the expo wasn't there that year. So stuff like the big tournaments, all the RPG stuff, and the bring and buy, which everyone loves, unfortunately, couldn't run this year. So I think, hey, you go get married. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah,
and
congratulations.
I think next year's expo will be a better expo for you. So
yeah,
honeymoon there, I guess. That'd be nice. The Birmingham NEC.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't go to the expo this year, and for COVID reasons and stuff. But yeah, I get the impression from quite a lot of people that it wasn't if you're going to miss one, this was the one to miss.
Sure. Yeah,
and that's just because Ben was there apparently. So
yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Gentlemen, any other highlights you want to finish on? Would you like to finish on before this episode?
I taught my daughter cockroach poker and Bonanza, which she loves. So that's a highlight.
That's a highlight.
She's making steady steps into. She gets right into it. So that's a highlight.
That's great.
You're one of those parents now. My daughter, she beat me at Terra Mystica last night.
Yeah. No, I don't like
my
Terra Mystica,
3-year-old. So no. So well, hey, I think this episode has run its course. So before we go, Dave, I'll probably defer to you for this one. Any final shout-outs? Shout-outs in general, not necessarily from the chat.
I just like to shout out first of all to everyone that's watched and joined us, because this is our first. Believe it or not, guys, we've not done this before, and this is our first live broadcast. But yeah, thanks for joining and watching. We will. I think we'll hopefully continue doing this because we think that this is a good way to do the podcast, because we can engage with people in the chat, and we will get better at that. And also, it saves me editing. So full disclosure, I don't want to edit. So if we can save editing, then this is going to be perfect, I think. But sorry, I was doing shout outs, wasn't I? This is probably why I do need to edit. Shout outs then. I'd like to just thank everyone for joining, and all the people that have been commenting over the last 6 weeks, has it been, that have been keeping in touch and checking that we're coming back and stuff. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Nice. Ben, any shout outs you'd like to give?
I do actually, Gerald. I have a couple.
Okay, go for it.
My first shout out to the Welsh internet for enforcing a 6 weeks break. Thanks, Welsh internet.
Thanks, Wales.
Thanks, Wales. Second shout out. If you have noticed that our Instagram account has become suddenly very, very active with high levels of professionalism and skill, it's because we have a couple of friends of the show helping out. So Amber and Kelly, thank you very much for taking on, I think they want to be called consultants, IG consultants. So thanks for that. Thanks to Rob for meeting us in UK Games Expo. That was really nice, actually. I'm going to say that's the first time we've ever met a fan. That was cool. I really enjoyed meeting him. A fan is a strong word.
Fan's a strong word.
It tolerated us. That was nice. And finally, because they get a terrible rap from all over the internet, I bought Dave a game from Zatu, and Zatu had a fantastic customer experience. It got there within a day or two, and it was great. I assume, Dave, you can.
Yes, thank you. I haven't. Okay, so I didn't mention that just because I haven't played it yet. Maybe I should mention that just quickly as games I'm looking forward to playing. I received very kindly from Ben and Amber a copy of Wasteland Express Delivery Service, which I am very excited to play. I've read the rule book and it looks superb.
So thanks, Zatu.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Ben and Amber, but mainly Zatu for getting it so quick.
We love you, Zatu.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Well, Dave,
I'm
back to
looking
you.
forward to
Just
that.
before we say our goodbyes, beyond the live chat and for those listening in podcast land, how can people get in touch with the show?
Yeah, you can actually. I've got it scrolling along the bottom of the screen.
So professional.
Ahead of the game.
For this very
I love
purpose.
it.
But yeah, you can, as you can see, I'll read it out as it's going along. It says, join us on Instagram. You can join us at back.of.the.show. Oh, it's moving too fast for me to read. You can join us on Instagram at back.of.the.shelf. You can join us on Facebook, where we have a page, Back of the Shelf Podcast. You can also find us on Board Game Geek, where we have a guild, which if you just go to guilds and podcasts, you'll find us under Back of the Shelf Podcast. Or if you type in guild numbers, we're guild number 3879. And yeah, I think that's it for social media, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can find our podcast as well, our previous podcasts, on all good podcast platforms. And we will be uploading them to YouTube periodically. We will have the previous series on YouTube.
Nice. Thanks, Dave. Well, I think that leaves us with nothing else to say but our final goodbye. So once again, thanks for everyone that joined us this evening. We look forward to more conversations with you, and I think I'll leave it there. In which case, it's goodbye from me. Or did I do
Goodbye
that right?
from me.
Thanks, I did.
And it's goodbye from me. Sorry, I'm typing in the chat at the same time as talking. I'm so professional. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.